Hi everyone, my name's David. I'm running Quest for Glory 2, and I'm actually kind of glad that the fan remake won because this is a very excellent remake of this game, and I actually like it a bit more than the original. It also paces a little bit better too. So Quest for Glory is a point-and-click adventure game made by Sierra Online, the makers of King's Quest, but it's a little bit different in that you've got character classes, you've got RPG stats. So it's kind of an interesting experience. I'm gonna go ahead and name my hero NoReset, and then for my starting stats, well, we do allow hybrids, so I'm going to spend 15 points to put 5 into magic, and the rest goes into weapon use. 105 weapon use is the threshold for unlocking move and combat, and magic is all around useful. The category I'm running today is 100% fighter. I'll get into that a little bit more later. One of the things introduced in the fan remake is a simplified city layout that we are going to use because that's a little bit faster. So we start time on start game. So let's go ahead and get this started in 3, 2, 1, go. I'm gonna go ahead and get up here. I start off in the end, game speed up, game skill down, and silly clowns remain on because there are some people in the community that say silly clowns need to be turned off, but this is Quest for Glory. We want silly clowns. They are on. Anyways, I just arrived here in Shapir having just finished my adventure in the previous game, but I don't have any of the local currency, so I need to go find the money changer, and then I changed my money, and see ya, never see her again. I'm going to be using that money to buy some useful stuff. Mostly need to get some of the equipment I need to save the city, buy some rations that will last me throughout the adventure. That's too many. Real quick, change the dialogue system. I need to buy all sorts of stuff because in a few days elementals are going to attack the city, and so I need to make sure that I am ready for that. First things first, healing pills, 2 batches, mana pills, 3 batches, poison cure pills, I don't need these at all except they give me points. And so let's get into the category a little bit. I'm running 100%. If you see in the upper right, I have 30 of 500. Those are points. So I need to, anytime that point total goes up, I've just done a required action. And so I'm going to be doing everything, and you do have to memorize the point lists. There's a whole lot of stuff, and a lot of it's pretty arbitrary, but one of the things I like is that the point list changes with each class, which is part of the reason I like to run 100%, because in any percent, you just go straight to the end of the game, and your class doesn't really matter that much. But I do have to bring up something that's going to start very soon, which is that since this is a game with RPG stats, some amount of training is necessary, and I'm going to go completely quiet for this part because I'm going to leave town and pick up rocks 165 times, and I'm counting this in my head, so unfortunately, I am going to go quiet for this. I think this is 15, 20... if you have any donations or anything, now's a really good time.
You don't mind us talking? Yeah, go ahead, say.
No donations at this point, but the Equal Justice Initiative is committed to ending mass incarceration and excessive punishment in the United States, to challenging racial and economic injustice, and to protecting basic human rights for the most vulnerable people in American society. It's such a great cause.
Yes, and I will also would like to welcome all the raiders coming from Sarah Avium's stream that will be hosting later. I was about to say tonight, but this morning. And also Degron raided us. So thanks to both of you and welcome to all the raiders.
85 here.
Keep going. This is very a butt clenching gameplay.
It'll get better later. just gotta get this training out of the way now. This is the best time to do it.
I just noticed that there's a handprint in the sky.
I think that's 120. $140.
Well, then I will also take this time to say that our next milestone is at $6,000, and that will unlock the category extensions for our Mario Kart Wii run later this morning at almost noon, actually. So make sure to keep donating. Every penny is worth.
Alright, so I finished clicking to pick up rocks 165 times. Each time I picked up 10 rocks, which means I now have 1,650 rocks, and I'm throwing them. I think a good comparison is like Morrowind or the Elder Scrolls series. In order to train your stats, you have to actually practice them. So, for example, throwing, you practice throwing, and I do need to throw all these rocks. I am eyeing a timer right now to make sure that I rest every 40 seconds or so, because throwing these rocks is draining my stamina, and if I drain my stamina, I start draining my health, and if I drain my health, I could kill myself by doing this. But
you could die by throwing rocks.
I could, and I've done that before when I don't eye the timer. But the reason I'm doing this isn't necessarily to raise my throwing skill, it's to raise my strength. There are certain tasks that the fighter needs to do, but the fighter needs to be strong enough to do them. Otherwise, he's just gonna kind of flop uselessly. So, throwing rocks is actually the best way to train strength in this game. And 1,650 rocks is about the amount in which I managed to get the strength I need, like 90-95% of the time. There is an RNG component to training. This amount of rocks does not always get me to the strength that I need.
There's people in the chat asking if this is like a sequel to Blaster Master.
I mean, it's got some similarities. There's blue on the screen. It was just a couple of colors. I don't know, but yes, I have run Blaster Master at NoReset before, and before that I ran Shovel Knight. So this game is not at all like the previous two games that I ran at NoReset.
We already had some point-and-click adventure. We never had Quest for Glory, but I think this is very interesting. And the animations are insane. Look at this guy throwing rocks.
It's pretty great.
Also, when he walks, it looks like he's going to the toilet.
Yeah, this is the silliest part of the run, but once we get the training out of the way, we shouldn't have to stop for any more training. I actually have no idea my stamina. Yeah, it's not good for me to lose track of the timer like that. I saw that my strength is somewhere around 120. My goal for this all-night training is to get my strength to 130 or above. I can talk about the specific requirement for that when I get to the thing that I need it for.
Okay.
Yeah, one nice thing about doing this though is that my throwing is also gonna go up, and I don't specifically need throwing, but it's a faster solution to certain puzzles, and so being good at it helps a little bit. You stop hearing the night sounds here. I'm about to run out of rocks, which hopefully should mean that I'm about to hit my strength threshold. Well, I'm probably there already, but we'll see. I do want to get back inside before the sun actually comes all the way out, because I don't want the Source seller to come out and try to sell me something that I can't afford right now. 137. Alright, strength is good. So in this game, certain events happen on a very specific timeline, and you have to plan out each day specifically. I'm on day 4 right now. On day 5, the first elemental is going to attack the city, and it's up to you, the hero, to defeat the elementals, or else they will destroy the city. So fire elemental is easy enough. Incense to lure him into the alleyways, put the lamp on the ground, spray it with water. You capture it in the lamp, and that's it for day 5. The next day that we do stuff is on day 7. The fire elemental normally destroys the city by day 7 if you haven't done anything with it. So day 7 is when people acknowledge that you've defeated it, and you'll be able to get a reward for it. But first, a beggar out here, give him money 2 times, and then we go to the fountain here to listen to the poet Omar just, performing out in the streets. So one thing I have not mentioned is if you do things right in this game, you can qualify to become a paladin at the end of it. So you have to do honorable acts, don't do any dishonorable acts, and you have to find all 50 hidden paladin points. And finding Omar's purse and returning it to him is one of the hidden paladin points. Giving money to the beggar twice is also a hidden paladin point. On day 8, the air elemental appears, but I actually skipped to day 9 because on day 8 I might get interrupted on the way out of the inn. Buy a cloth bag, I'm going to need that. The water skin is not strictly necessary, but good for safety. And then this is the bit that I needed, first of all, safety save. This is the bit that I needed 130 strength for. I need this guy's bellows in order to defeat the air elemental, but he's not about to give it away. He's kind of a jerk. He's only going to give it to me if I beat him at arm wrestling. In the EGA version, I could just ramp up the pressure faster than he could and slam him before he expects it, and that works, but I haven't found a way to consistently do that in the remake. So unfortunately that means I have to be strong enough to outlast him and wear him out. And 120 strength is actually enough, except that you then need a maximum stamina of 160 to last long enough to beat him, and well, that's kind of hard to do. So 130 strength works instead because the stamina threshold needed for that is about 110, and you usually hit that from the all-night. Question for someone that knows what is the purpose of the X of 500: is it the paladin points that the runner is talking about? The X of 500 is just the regular points. The hidden paladin points, there's 50 of them. And there we go, I've got the bellows, but I don't have everything I need. I need to go visit the magic shop. First, I'm going to buy 2 spells. The Dazzle spell will help me skip an unnecessary combat later, and then the Levitate spell is not strictly necessary, but it's going to allow me to enter another combat with more health. A combat that's very dangerous. Let's see. Beard, Fool, Earth. You ask this guy for Fuller's Earth, and you get a pot of dirt that you can throw at the air elemental. The game goes with kind of a elemental weakness order thing. Air elemental is weak to earth, fire is weak to water, a whole bunch of that stuff. You throw dirt at the air elemental to put it in place, use the bellows to capture it. The air elemental normally destroys the city on day 11, so day 11 is when I'm gonna get my reward for defeating the air elemental. You gotta rest until night here, and you'll find Omar at the inn again. He gives you the reward, you get points for getting that reward.
There's somebody in chat asking a question for you.
Yeah.
They're asking, what is the purpose of the X of 500? Is it the paladin points that you were talking about?
No, the paladin points are hidden. You don't know about them until the... Whoa, I don't... Okay. The paladin points are hidden. You don't know about them until the end of the game. There's 50 of them. You need to get like 37 to qualify, but for 100% we require all 100. So on day 12, the Earth Elemental is going to attack the city. And he's wandering around the alleyways a little bit, so we're going to have to find him here. And this is also a good time for me to... The Earth Elemental is weak to fire, and I got a fire sword for fighting him. But combat is actually really slow in the VGA remake, so we want to avoid it at all costs pretty much. That's one of the reasons that I got the that I got magic, which is that the flame dart spell, even at its weakest, is a much faster method of dealing with the earth elemental than engaging it with a flaming sword is. I need to find it before I visit the Enchantress Aziza. It's RNG whether or not it appears. Here we go. And all the mana pills that I bought earlier are helping me wear this thing down because I don't actually have a very big mana pool.
At least you know how to throw rocks.
I do know how to throw rocks. And there we go. Enough flame darts will make it fall over, and then I just put them in a sandbag or something. Save here. Let's see. Knock on door. I am NoReset. Keep on air Aziza. The Enchantress Aziza is very strict on being proper. In fact, she's gonna ask you if you want tea, and you have to say yes because you lose paladin points if you're rude to her, and saying no to tea is rude. Oh, and I also need to return this paladin's sword as soon as possible. And then I now have the money to go ahead and buy the source. So one of the things that the game manual says is that a source will come to your aid in combat. And, you know, they're just good for riding around the desert in. But you're gonna find very quickly that the source that I just bought is a coward. So not at all that useful. I've got some adventuring to do in the desert because I now have what I need to take care of everything out here. I rested until night because you can fight random encounters out here. And, well, one of the things that the fighter specifically is required to do is that he has to fight and defeat everything. There are 5 random encounters that can show up in the desert. 2 of them are night only, 1 of them is day only. This is the Al Ghul. Its claws drain your stamina. It's a very magical creature and deadly. I did set the skill level to easiest, so it's kind of a pushover right now. But oh, and don't forget to loot it for its claws. The apothecary wants to experiment with its claws for some reason, and you get points for looting the claws, but you don't get points for... Whoa. Yeah, I want to fight these. Jackalmen. They can come in a pack of anywhere between 1 to 5 of them, and if there's a lot of them, they're probably going to surround you. But getting just 2 of them is a pretty good luck. Yeah, when I started the game with 105 weapon use, it unlocked this double swing maneuver. And that's the main reason I put that many points into it. Let's see. You don't loot these guys for anything. There's a monster out in the desert here, but we're just going to say goodbye to it. We can't do anything for him right now. And oh, sweet, I found the scorpion. So the scorpion is kind of bad news. He's got a poisonous tail. If he hits you with it, it's instant death, unless you have taken a poison cure pill before you entered the fight. But he doesn't attack very often, so... Whoa! Yeah, I saw the tail wiggling. You do not want to see the tail wiggling. If you see the tail wiggling, back up. And anyways, that's it for the scorpion. That's 3 out of 5 random encounters that I need in the desert, but I'm actually not going to do the rest of them until later. I've got some things to do in the desert. So there's that monster that I found in a cage in the desert. I need to dispel it, but I don't have a dispel potion, so I need to get a dispel potion, and I need 2 ingredients for that. I need the feather of a griffin, and I found that near the griffin nest. Then I need to get the fruit of compassion from a tree by freeing her spirit. The tale of Julinar. She was a woman who wanted to be a healer, but then she was lured into the desert, and then a genie turned her into a tree. Point and click. So you can restore her spirit by giving her some water, act of kindness, and telling her about yourself. Then the magical dirt from the earth elemental. give it to her. Tell about the Earth Elemental, remind her that her name is Julinar, give her a hug. And she gives you the Fruit of Compassion, but she will not become a human until the 5th game. My Saurus, however, will get me back to the city very quickly, and it is now day 14. The Water Elemental is in the fountain, but, you know, just stick a water skin down and then sweep her off her feet. And that's it. The Apothecary, you have to tell him about the beast that you found before you can make a Dispel Potion. And, well, I talked to him about it, and I get my Dispel Potion. The Kata are very thankful that I have saved their city, and they give me a pin that can only be seen by friends. That's going to be pretty important later on. But now that I have a Dispel Potion, I'm going to run away. My Saurus is a coward. He's no use to me. Here he is. You have to take care of this guy either the day you meet him, the day after, or before day 16. You don't have a lot of time to deal with this. And it turns out that his master, Adavis, was very displeased with him and cursed him to die, but, well, you just saved his life. But Adavis, the big bad of the game, awaits me in the sister city of Razir. Let's see. I have dealt with all the elementals. A caravan will be leaving the Razir on day 17, but on night 15, I'm going to get an invitation from the Eternal Order of Fighters to try out for them. And that happens on night 15, although they're kind of... there's a lot of toxic masculinity here. But they're going to put me into a room of darkness, and headphone warning. And then chain me up, and they're going to make me break out of the chains and try to get that weapon over there to defend myself. Because that's what a real fighter does. And, oh, yeah. Did I safety save? I don't know if I did. Anyways, this fight's going to be a little bit different because I'm using a weapon that's unfamiliar to myself. So, the main maneuver I have is this awkward swing. I also have an overhead swing, but that one gets blocked a lot more often. So I tend to use this one. This fight is actually kind of the gatekeeper in the original EGA game. It's where runs go to die because it's very easy to lose this fight in the original game. In this version, though, as long as you do the right swings and back away when you can't hit him, then he's not going to be much of a threat. Hidden Paladin points here, though. The Eternal Order of Fighter is going to order you to kill him, and you have to refuse. Oops. They let me join even though I failed the test by refusing to obey orders. Day 16 is the day to get ready for the caravan to Azir. The Enchantress Aziza wants to see me again, and she's going to reveal that my Saurus is enchanted, actually a person, so that's why he's such a coward. And then at the Adventurers Guild, I haven't actually done any training here. Rakesh and Uhura, I get points for training with them both, but I don't actually have to win any of the combats. I just get points for training. They're trying to give me a few pointers in combat. Actually a great place to train casually, but I just need to fight and then run away, and then I'm good. Night 16, I get one last reward from the Podomar. Unfortunately, since it's night, the shops are all closed. I can't spend that money on anything, so that reward is kind of pointless, but except for the points. Oh, I guess it's not pointless. On day 17, I'm going to wake up early and go join the caravan to the sister city of Razir. Some of the backstory to this game: a year ago, the Kata were all driven out of the city of Razir, which looks pretty much like Shapir, but on the other side of the desert. The Sultan of Shapir tried to take back the city, but magical winds drove his army back, so now it's up to you, the hero, to free Razir from the tyrannical government that has overtaken it. But in the meantime, triumphant caravan. A little bit of a cutscene here. The EGA version actually kind of skips a little bit of this cutscene. So,
when was this game released?
The original Quest for Glory 2 was released in 1990. This fan remake came out in about 2008. Yeah, a lot of it is just kind of polished up graphics and changing from the text parser to this point and click mouse. But also the combat system itself is highly revamped, and there's a lot more to it, but it's also quite a bit harder. Yeah, the original designer Corey Cole actually tried out this remake, and he liked it, except he thought the combat was too hard. Anyway, so we get to the city of Brazier. The captain of the guards is going to slap us a little bit. Before I go check out this inn here, I need to rest an hour and then leave the city, because I still have 2 random encounters that I have not fought, and I also have been gifted a new Saurus by the Sultan, which in the original game, due to programming limitations, acted just like your original one. But remember what I mentioned earlier about Sauruses being fierce protectors in combat? Well, this guy is going to come in handy for that. If I can actually find a combat. There we go. So, brigands, they show up during the day, but they're weak to dinosaur. And that's the main reason that I've waited until now to fight this thing, because the dinosaur is extremely powerful and speeds up an otherwise very slow combat. I still have one more thing to fight, and that's going to be the Pterosaurus, a big green dino that is bad news. I'm going to be safety saving until I get it. Unfortunately, there is a lot of luck to this game. You got to get the right encounters, and you got to get them quick, and they got to play nice. Now's probably a good time for any donations or shoutouts if you've got them. There we go.
No donations at this point. The Equal Justice Initiative is committed to ending mass incarceration and excessive punishment in the United States, to challenging racial and economic injustice, and to protecting basic human rights for the most vulnerable people in American society. It's really such a great cause. Please get those donations coming in. And just a reminder for the milestone we've got for the category extension for Mario Kart Wii. It's at $6,000, and we are just a little bit off.
Alright, so, having fought the dino, I now go to the city. I talk to the owner of the inn, and basically everything's under tyranny here. In particular, the captain of the guards is gonna arrest this guy for smuggling water just to make a show of things to me and warn me not to step out of line. But on my way back to the inn, well, I'm going to find a woman who wants to escape the city. The captain of the guards wants to marry her, and, well, she is not up for that. So she's going to dress up as me and then take my visa and then leave. It's okay. It's for heroism. So one of the things that I have not mentioned about this remake is that the original game is kind of infamous for this end sequence, because you spend about 8 minutes waiting and literally doing nothing until your room at the inn opens up. Anyways, guards capture me. I need to show this guy the pin to let him know that I'm a friend. And then my spells will get me out of here. I could actually use my strength, but it would take me like 3 tries to open the gate. Magic's faster. It's like, magic is not strictly necessary, but it saves a good amount of time. So I escape from that prison cell easily, but then, whoops, the evil big bad Adavis catches me, hypnotizes me, and now he's my best friend. So he's taking me to this forbidden city where this dangerous artifact is hidden inside the statue of Iblis, where a very evil and powerful genie named Iblis was captured. And well, we're gonna go get it, and basically that'll help save everyone, right? Nothing bad could go wrong there. Oops. It's... Oop. Good thing I safety saved there, because one thing I did not mention is this is a Sierra game, and it's very easy to die randomly just through misclicks and whatnot. Safety saves everywhere, just to be sure. The open spell closed up some rocks, which gets rid of a strong wind. You normally need 120 strength for that. Opens a little bit faster. Through the fire room, you gotta specifically jump down here. Name of power, Suleiman. I don't know, that's just something that you gotta know. I'm not sure how you're supposed to know that. And here it is, the statue of Iblis. You find it, and then he teleports in and takes it away. Why didn't he do that at the beginning? I don't know. Maybe magic or something. So I'm trapped in here forever. Oh, except there's a ring in the darkness, and there's a good genie here who's going to grant me a couple of wishes. So, agility and weapon use, so that I can be better at combat, and then escape, because I need to now prevent the big bad evil guy from releasing that evil genie. Dazzle and Open there skips a fight against the guards. I've mentioned before, combat is very slow. I need to make a safety save here, because even though I have the skill slider on easiest, this is a very difficult fight. But it's going to start off somewhat simple. We're just kind of going to feel each other out for a bit. I just kind of try to poke at him, he dodges, and then he disarms me. I'm going to make him mad and then go for my weapon. But we're still kind of just feeling each other out, and at some point I'm going to disarm him. And the fast thing to do would be to kill him immediately, but a paladin must give him another chance, at which point you're then going to do the real combat against him. And Kaveen, the captain of the guards, is kind of like your evil opposite. He has a lot of the same moves that you do, and he starts to show off a lot of them if you turn that skill slider up. And, well, I haven't actually trained my hero very much, so he's going to be blocking a whole lot of my attempts to hit him. So, first things first, I gotta hope that I can get through the... Yeah, he just hit me with a triple hit there. Like, I'm trying to see if I can get through that shield. There we go. It's possible to get him into a little bit of a pattern where your first strike misses, he ducks under the second one, and then the third one hits him. And that's the kind of thing you want to be trying to do. This fight is always nerve-wracking. I'm going to focus just a bit here. Noticing that my stamina bar is already pretty much completely drained, which means pretty soon my moves in combat are going to start draining my health. Part of the reason that this is so scary. Yeah, that darn paladin requirement, making me have to do a fight that's probably going to take about 2 minutes, and risks killing me. He's actually kind of a pushover in the original EGA game. The remake kind of made him an appropriate dragon to the big bad. I'm still scared here. It's also the reason I bought the levitate spell earlier. Just because if you don't buy it, then you have to jump off that balcony, and you start the fight with a little less health. I'm gonna back off a little bit here, try to see if I can let the stamina replenish. Ouch. That's not good. Got him! Woo! That was close. And thankfully I have healing pills. So I can go into this next room full on health and just run right up to the big bad and push him down. 480 out of 500 is good for the point total. That means I got all the non-hidden points. I don't actually call time here. In the original EGA version I would, but there's a dialogue option where I'm going to have to select an option in the ending. So I end time there. Yeah, that was a bit of a tense battle. Whew. Anyways, you release the water elemental in the fountain. Water is back to Razir, and then you're gonna get taken to an ending ceremony in Shapir so that people can talk about all the good deeds you did. Time is gonna be when the Lion Tara gives you the sword and you become a paladin. But the Kata are gonna step up and say, you defeated the elementals. Then the guy we fought at the Eternal Order of Fighters is gonna say, we fought and he didn't kill me, he's a hero. Enchantress Aziza will talk about how you freed the spirit of the tree and also dispelled the creature in the forest, desert. And then Zaisha here will say she took your clothes and your visa. And then it turns out that your Saurus is the Emir of Razir, so he's not just Emir Saurus, he's Emir Saurus. Bad jokes, I love them. And then the Sultan's gonna say, I adopt you as my son, you're a hero. And then Rakesh is gonna step up and say, you're honorable, you're a paladin now. So time's gonna come up very shortly. And time. And you beat the game with 550 points. 550. There we go, that's 100%. And these are my ending stats. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and quit out of this and then get right back into it because I do have that pizza time incentive. So, Quest for Glory has a running gag where there's a fifth element more powerful than all the others, which is the element of pizza. But you might have noticed that I never took on the pizza elemental during the run. Well, I have a save right here. Skill slider is all the way up for this, and my hero is maxed out, and that's because I'm going to need that for this fight. So if you fulfill the right conditions and you go to the right place, you can find this guy wandering in the desert. This heat is murderous. Why is this city in the middle of nowhere? You exist? Ever since I've been in this desert, I've seen nothing but monsters and things that do not exist. Where do you come from? You tell the creature that you're from the city of Shapir. Is it really possible I missed it? Why is it looking for Shapir? I'm supposed to visit the city and feast upon it. This is what we elementals excel at. You realize that the creature, odd as it looks, nevertheless has malicious intentions. You wonder what you should do? We're gonna fight it. You wish to fight? Is this a joke? I've used bigger shrimps than you as toppings. Tell the creature to flee or fight. I will give you a fight, little one. Alright, so we have an even tougher combat coming up here. You've noticed that he turned into an even bigger hulking monster. So the pizza elemental, he's kind of bad news. There's pizzas falling all over the battlefield, and you got to make sure that you don't get hit by any of them. For the most part, if you're standing right next to him, most of them do not land there. You got to watch those tentacles wiggling, and you also got to watch for a pattern where pizzas start falling in the second, fourth, and fifth rows, because then he's gonna keep doing that forever until he tries to eat you. But you gotta let him do that, and then you gotta hack your way out. You gotta do that on purpose. For the most part, the actual fighting of him is basically just get close, let him swing at you, duck, rising slash, poke him in between swings if you've got time. And unfortunately, that was slow enough that he gets off his eating attack twice. And, oops, I took a hit there. Anyways, the reason you gotta let him eat you is because at some point he's going to get low enough on health that he's gonna try to restore his own life by summoning a pizza and eating it. But if you hacked at him in his mouth, then it doesn't do anything for him, it just kind of hurts. However, each time you hit him in the mouth, it's only good for one health restore. So each time he tries to eat a pizza, you gotta back off and let him try to eat you again before you resume damage on him. Yeah, this third row is the best place to be if you're waiting for him. I mean, you could try to damage him down a bit to get him near the next health threshold, but you risk him actually summoning the pizza and healing his own life, and then suddenly you're probably not gonna win the fight, because if he heals at all, you're probably not gonna prevail, because my stamina is already draining pretty low pretty fast. Yeah, his defense is very high. He only takes 1 damage per hit. I don't remember if his health is somewhere around 125 or 255. It is raining pizzas. If I do enough damage here, that might be the last time he tries to eat me. But I don't know for sure, so I'm gonna back off just to be safe. I mean, I don't think he'll eat anymore, but if I'm wrong, then that's some healing that I really don't want him to get. Yeah, this is a very difficult fight. It takes most people a very long time to get this down. You could kind of think of this as like the stands of this game or something. Yeah, anyways, he's not eating anymore, so I'm gonna go and finish him off. Yeah, it's nice having a maxed out hero sometimes, because then a lot of moves become available to you. You take a hit, you can recover from that and jump back in. I've got a triple slash. Ooh, that's what being grabbed by the tentacle looks like. And he's dead. Easy. He's now in the form of a pizza. And I could use this pizza box to contain him, or I could just eat him. You pick up the doughy disc from the desert floor, brush the sand off its bottom, and eat it. What comes around goes around. Its flavor is beyond anything you've ever tasted, and you feel refreshed and invigorated. So that's Quest for Glory 2, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoy the rest of NoReset. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, that was very interesting and entertaining. Thank you, David, for that.
Thanks so much.
So we will go back to musical transition. We will be switching hosts. So thank you, CLSL, for your hosting duties.
Thanks so much for having me. I've had so much fun with you guys, and I really hope that you enjoy the rest of the evening.
All right, we'll go to a quick transition and we'll come back with more